Hi everybody, good afternoon, or evening, as the case may be for you. I'm Pabs, a Right Team VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be reworking some emotes. Now, I don't actually get a chance to, strut the stuff of my emotes because, I don't have like a guide for them anywhere. I don't know if people know that I have emotes. I do have emotes. Those are a thing that I do have. I need to advertise them better. I'm thinking of like adding a small section in my kind of like the little boxes you can see underneath the stream to kind of point to a resource where you might be able to see them and their better TV emote codes. But for the moment, they're more of a mystery. But yeah, in kind of anticipation of me getting my shit together and doing that, I was hoping to actually rework some of the emotes I've already gotten and kind of make a couple new ones. So with that said, let's head on over to the working screen so we can start. There we go. Is it weird that I miss my like PPE gear? Like the safety vest and the hard hat and everything? I kind of miss it somehow. I don't know why, but it felt like it fit me very well. Alright. What was I looking at? Right, okay. So you guys might remember this from last time around. So we have these 5. I can't count today. And I also don't know that I didn't... Oh, this is a mess. Alright, it's a weekend. I'm allowed to get a little loose with it. I'm allowed to be a little clumsy with it. You might recall this kind of like palette from last time around that we made these. The main, while these are fine on their own, I'm kind of hoping to make them all like much more thicker lined because I understand that that's much better for, what do you call? For emote work, having very thick lines, having very clear colors is very helpful for that sort of thing. I'm probably not going to bring back the Rice Beast one because I don't think it reads very well. But I will try to bring forward at least these 4 plus a few more. All right, so let's I think the best way for me to do this is to just kind of like print screen these suckers and then drag them onto the next one. Wait, no, I think I can copy them directly as well. Here we go. I don't like it whenever a drawing warps over without the line art because it just looks like this. It's like, the thing is, I'm good enough at shading that you can very easily tell which part goes where. But I'm not so good that it can go completely without the line art. Ignore that. Ignore that image that I just flashed to. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. Yeah, I think the best thing I can do for myself is to copy and paste these with the print screen. Yeah, because this is not working. Okay. Here we go. Oh, let me turn on the background music too. Yeah, that was probably like missing a little bit, I suppose. Okay, let's okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's been about today. It's something about today has been making me just extremely. I don't know how to put it. Like slow. I don't feel quite so awake. I don't know. Maybe it's like some kind of sleep issue or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try to perk up, but you can't always like. It's not always about like perking up. It's like sometimes it's about like. Sometimes you just have days like that. Hey, Luca, how you doing? Welcome to stream. How have you been? We're redrawing some of these emotes. I never understood how to pronounce that properly. Like, is it emote? Is it emote? I mean, the closed captions seem to be picking it up fine no matter what I say, so... I'm not going to worry about it too much. I really like this Rice Beast one. It's so cute. Usually I just draw it, like, biting me. I've heard it said both ways. So it's one of those tomato kind of situations. I could understand that. Actually, I think the Rice Beast hype one is actually kind of alright. I don't think we need to change that one so much. We'll just rework these 3 and then start working on the new ones. I feel like that's a good balance of time. Okay. so I'm guessing one folder for each would be good? Probably, yeah. Okay. I'm kind of excited to redraw the Pappers one because I don't know if that's still a thing. Like, I don't know if that's ever gonna stop being a thing, like pogging and everything. I don't know if that's ever going to stop being a thing. It might, but, you know, I feel like it's one of those things like gold or like gas prices that just never really go down. Rice Pog, hell yeah. Alright, so yeah, thicker lines, huh? I can do thicker lines. I actually really enjoy painting in thick lines because I was heavily influenced by Brian Lee O'Malley's seminal work Scott Pilgrim as a child, which had a lot of thick line art, to the extent that, like, a lot of people said that my art style, like, this was a long time ago, mind you, but a lot of people said that my art style reminded them of Scott Pilgrim. And, you know, I like to think that that's, like, that's good, you know, to an extent. You know, it's not great when somebody tells you, like, oh yeah, you remind me of, like, this artist, you know. Obviously, they don't always mean badly by it, but, like, at the time, I actually took that as a compliment because, you know, it's what I was going for. It was the, you know, that was, like, the intent of my art style, was to mimic that style. You know, the thick line art and everything. Yeah, I can't exactly say that I was displeased with it, but I like to think that it's changed enough over the years that the influence is, like, less obvious. Like I said, it's not exactly a bad thing to look like a more famous artist. Yeah, very thick lines. I'm hoping it'll increase the readability of them. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let me actually, like, move this maybe a little bit to the right. Yeah, I think a little bit to the right so that the hoodie curve isn't, like, right up against there. I've started debating, like, how I should depict, like, the kind of fold at the top of my head. Because usually, if I'm just sketching it out, I just actually make it, like, a line like this. But I feel like that has much less character than the, you know, very kind of physical fold here. I think I could do, like, maybe a kind of in-between of these. You know, there has to be some kind of compromise that can be reached. I don't believe that it can be all or nothing. I mean, naturally, I could have just, because I always use vector layers, I could have gone back to the original drawing for this and just kind of like increase the vector line width. But the thing is, I kind of feel like reworking this a little bit, I feel like it's, like, important for me to exercise my demons in that way. You know, it's like closure in a way, almost. I think that's the best term I can use to describe it. It's like closure. You know, exercise my demons. Yeah, no. I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this. I have actually been starting a side hustle as a CrossFit director in Hell. Yeah, they needed somebody who, you know, the thing is, right, when you hire competent professional gym instructors, they're used to tutoring, like, humans, and demons are, like, multiple times as strong as humans. They're, like, notoriously tough and, you know, jackasses. So, you know, they had to kind of, like, get a guy like me on the team because I don't know what I'm doing, so I can basically just tell them to, hey, go lift that mountain over there, and, you know, they'll do it. But that's the kind of training that they need. This is such a disturbing mouth shape. Okay. I don't know why I find this mouth shape so disturbing. I look like a duck. I look like I have a beak. Show me to the bird seed. I'm so full from bread thrown at me by people in the park. Yum. I look like a dolphin. Also, you know, people. Fun fact: bread is bad for ducks. I have heard that actually. You know, I said it off of the cuff, but that is true. You really shouldn't feed ducks in the park bread. You know, I think like you're supposed to feed them peas. Oh, that's really... I don't like that. I don't like how this looks. I don't like being so aware of the top part of my jaw. I actually do think I have a picture of like the original PogChamp in here. Yeah, here we go. No, wrong one. So here we go. It did look a bit like a dolphin. Yeah, no, I'm trying to not go for that. Dolphins are controversial animals, to say the least. Okay, you know what I think it is? I think it's like not curved enough here. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I think we're getting it. Yeah, I think we're getting it. I think we're close to a breakthrough here. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, this is it. This is how we do it. But like, I need to make sure that like my teeth aren't completely fucked up here. The fangs are of critical importance, you understand. They're part of the brand. You know. I didn't ask to be born with like a mouth to cuss with and not have it be full of fangs. You know. If I'm going to be given the burden of conscious thoughts, I should be allowed to have fangs. No, I don't think bottom teeth. I don't think bottom row of teeth is appropriate for this. You're valid. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Okay, okay, so good general shape there, but I want to kind of copy and paste this entire layer. Have this like this, and then rework this part right here so that I can like... Yeah, the thing is, like, past a certain, like... Oh shit, hang on, I'm on the wrong layer. Alright. I need to rasterize this layer so it doesn't start interfering with the, what do you call? Vector lines up top. But yeah. The idea right now is to draw, like, more detailed teeth. Yeah, the thing is, right, I've thought a lot about, like, my wacky biology, because it's just fun to think about, like, how cartoonish I could make it. But my mouth is something that I just have no answer for. You know, oh, why is my body, like, pure white and not attached to my head? Oh, it's made of mochi and it's not part of the rice bag. Oh, how do you get animated? Oh, there's a little bit of the sun inside me. What's up with your mouth? I don't know. But the mouth is a mystery even to me. You know, not to break immersion too much, but I don't know what the mouth does. I don't know what the purpose is of the mouth other than to let me cuss and say words. Sometimes at the same time. Let's see here. Yeah, so fun fact, I have actually, like, I think, like, during the time I was working with this on the live 2D model representation of myself, I did actually, like, take a bag of rice that I had in my house, and I did, like, take pictures of it from different angles with like the lid folded up like this to kind of like give me a better idea. It didn't really end up being too helpful, but I think like if I ever make myself a second 2D Live 2D model, I might do the same thing. You know, knowing what I know now about Live 2D modeling, which isn't too much more, but you know, a little bit more, it's gonna be useful. Yeah, the rice head part is the one part which is a bit tricky for me to handle. Because it's hard to draw piles of stuff without like making it like super round in this kind of like thick line art style. Just drink some water. I do have a pen that is supposed to be like a rice texture. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, I actually made like a copy of it with my own texture. Like I basically just stole the technology, but made my own kind of pattern for it. But but that line's a little too fine for what I'm trying to go for here. Oh, maybe like a millipen approach would be better, actually, come to think of it. Oh yeah, weird thing to think about. But a friend of mine brought this up while we were walking through the park the other day. Canada still has the Queen's face as their currency, and apparently they can't do that now that the Queen has moved on from her lifelong position. So we did actually wonder like who was going to be on the next bill. I wanted to nominate myself, quite frankly, because I believe that my bloodlust and dance skills would make me a perfect candidate for somebody who should have their face on a bill. Oh yeah, speaking of which, apparently there's a bunch of products out there that use like the British Royal Coat of Arms, and now they can't actually put that on their logos or their product branding unless they can prove that the current liege, I guess would be the word, of the British Isles uses their product, because that was like the meaning of the symbol, like the fact that they had a coat of arms on their logo or on their product because they knew that the British House used their, the British Royal House used their product. This is some wacky rice. I don't like how this is coming out. Okay, so I think like what I can do instead of maybe just making like, it doesn't look bad, but I think we can do better. I think that what we can do is maybe just use like a rougher line like this. Yeah. Yeah, so like have it be a little bit rougher and just kind of like wiggle it around. But yeah, 875 brands have to do that now. Like, I feel like at that point you're kind of using your house's logo a little too much. Like, I don't think I use 875 products in my house. I mean, I might. I could actually see how that would easily happen. But like conversely, that also means that they're using way too little. No, I'm doing that thing again. I'm doing the same thing that I was before. That's not what I want to do. Oh yeah. Apparently they've recently discovered, like, I don't know how exactly it was worded, but essentially they've discovered dinosaur vomit. So they have a sample of vomit from some old ass dinosaur age, and now they can use that to kind of find out more stuff about about dinosaurs, which is awesome. But it's undercut a little bit, this kind of scientific advancement and opportunity is undercut a little bit by the fact that they've nicknamed the biological sample, Jurassic Barf. Yeah, it takes a little bit of the gravitas away from it, you know. I don't think a lot of these people kind of get into... Yeah. Jesus, that made you laugh so hard that you key mashed into the number section of the keyboard. That's how you know that was a good bit. Yeah, they saw an opportunity and they took it. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, on the one hand, I do that. No, it's cool. Like, I like that. It's a neat thing to do. It's a lot of personality to do, if that makes sense. I don't think it does, but I'm gonna stick to what I said. Anyway, the thing, yeah, I think because I don't know why. I just expect like everything to do with dinosaurs to have like a very cool name. I mean, like, we have a once upon a time bird running around called the Tyrant King of Lizards. So, you know, Jurassic Barf, in contrast, is a little bit... It just feels a little... what's the word, is it? Like, impetuous? I think it might be impetuous, I don't know. But yeah, you're right that if I was on that team, I would 100% also take the shot. You have one opportunity to be remembered forever, and you can do that either by having an absurdly cool name or being named something like Bob. Like, for example, Charlemagne's father, Charlemagne being like a super important fucking dude in, I think, the French area of Europe historically. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a bit funny in comparison. Yeah. But, like, yeah, so for example, Charles the Great, or Charlemagne's father, was called Pepin the Short. They could just fucking name you anything back in those days. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like, yeah, you know Charlemagne, that one asshole French king? Yeah, his dad was called Pepin the Short. You have to wonder, like, how short this dude must have been to be named that. Like, relatively speaking, like, you know, I don't know if they necessarily saw a short... Yeah, Pepin the Short, goddamn. Yeah, no, they did not have... They were not kind to that man. Okay, I need to thin out the lines in the actual part here, because otherwise it's gonna look like my brain. And, while I do think very, very hard, I don't have a biological brain. I think maybe something that I could do is actually, like, use it a little bit. Hang on. Yeah, like this. Like, disrupt the pattern here and there. But yeah, could you imagine if you fucking took charge of a country and they named you President Manlet? That's the same vibe. I mean, they would name me that because I'm like 4'5", I think, in American measurements. I'm 150 centimeters tall in, you know, every other country. Also, mood. You're 4'5". My, you know, my human form is much taller, but my rice form is quite tiny. You know, my friends used to joke that they could put... My friends joked about my rice form, that they could put me in one of those baby chairs, and it would look pretty natural. Short grain rice, yes, precisely. Yeah, yeah, my human form is like basmati. I'm like glutinous, if that makes sense. If that tracks. Okay, let's take away like all the like stuff underneath here so I can see this properly. I get it. Yeah, nice. I'm glad you got that. Okay. What was I doing? Right, I just line width. I think maybe the way to avoid it making it look like my brain is to not just like do these like lines here and there, but also to just fill it more. Yeah. Jurassic Barf, huh? It's gonna suck real bad if like that turns out to be like an earth-shattering revelation sample, because that's going to mean that the archaeological or paleontological research is going to be divided into pre-Jurassic Barf and post-Jurassic Barf area. It'll have like a Wikipedia subsection: discovery of Jurassic Barf and subsequent paradigm shift. I kind of want to see that now. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want there to be a little bit of that. I think we've earned it, having the this year being what it is. I've actually had a pretty good 2022, but I know a lot of people haven't, and I think everything, all things the same, we could always use a bit of a pick me up. So I hope that happens. There we go. This year has been okay, but sometimes it's rough. Yeah. Recently I read an article that says that there are like 3 different types of burnout. And a lot of it is being able to recognize that burnout and being able to kind of do something about it is having that kind of like emotional intelligence, which isn't really taught. It's not like something that they regularly teach you. It's something that you kind of like have to seek out yourself. I know there are some people who have like a knack for it, but I know that I'm definitely somebody who had a lot of trouble with my emotions. But yeah, apparently there's like overload, which, it's kind of like the classic idea of burnout, which is that you're just taking on way too much at the same time, so you're kind of all tuckered out and you need a break. But there's also like under-challenged burnout, where you kind of are doing the same thing over and over. And, that's just not providing you a challenge anymore. You're not just, you're kind of understimulated, if that makes sense. And there's also like neglect burnout, which is what happens when you just don't get direction. So if they send you, oh, I have that one, I think. Yeah, emotions are tough as fuck. So it's always interesting when you learn that like there is a way to conceptualize what you've been feeling. But yeah, apparently being under challenged in your own kind of field of expertise can be a type of burnout. I've definitely felt that before, I definitely, like, whenever that happens, I try to do like art study streams, or I try to like change up what I'm doing in some way, or try to do something weird or funny. Because not only does that kind of like help me keep a like mood on the whole situation, but it also helps me to kind of see where I can advance and maybe give myself more of a challenge in what I do, or like a little bit of difference in what I do. Yeah. And yeah, then there's the last one as well, which is like neglect burnout, which is basically what happens when somebody throws you into a project with very little guidance or like direction. So because you're kind of spending so much energy trying to understand how you can be useful and trying to understand what you can do to be helpful and to kind of cope with this, that also leads to a type of burnout. So yeah, those are the 3 types that were mentioned in the article. There might be more, actually. All things considered, I think the current world is complicated enough that we can be tired in significantly different ways. Okay, I kind of want to thicken the line here. And yeah, we'll get through it. Okay, and then over here, perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me though, like, thinking about like that Jurassic Barf thing, it does occur to me that a lot of a lot of like the quote-unquote like I got ADHD, so understimulation is something I'm familiar with on some level. I see. Yeah. I like to multitask a little bit myself. You know, I like to have multiple things to do at the same time. But that can also wear me out faster, so it's a little bit of a gamble. Alright, now we can start painting this. I actually do have an updated reference for myself. Hang on, let me see if I can find this thing. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna make a new pinned tweet with this picture one of these days, but maybe not today. All right. New emote site. Yeah, we can close the other one. Right. Okay. So this goes here. This goes here, and this is just like plain white. No, it's got a little bit of an orangish tint to it, like a creamish tint. Yeah, all things the same, I tend to gravitate toward parboiled rice in the grocery store, mainly because it has a, you know, supposedly, I tried to eat brown rice for a long time. And I managed to do it. It wasn't like an issue so much, but I did eventually like get tired of it because it's just like my rice cooker stopped being able to handle it properly, so now it just kind of like burnt the bottom every single time. It was just unpleasant to kind of deal with that, so I switched over to parboiled rice. Oh no, yeah. God bless my rice cooker though. Like it's been considering I bought that thing in 2019-ish. Yeah, I think 2019. You know, definitely 2019. Considering I bought that thing in 2019 and considering that it's been seen almost like weekly use since that time, it's a brave little soldier. Yeah. I don't know how long, broadly speaking, rice cookers are supposed to last. I don't know if they have an expiration date, so to speak. I know, like, you're supposed to replace... Ooh. I know you're supposed to replace, like, towels with... I know you're supposed to replace towels and pillows, like, every 2 years or something. Some brands last a long-ass time. Yeah, I imagine particularly if it's, like, one of those analog joints... I imagine it like lasts a decent amount of time. Yeah. Like my grandmother had a sewing machine kind of thing in her house, and I imagine that like I say a sewing machine thing. She had one of those like desks or cabinet things that could fit a sewing machine inside of it. And I imagine that thing was like built to last, so much so that you could probably still use it today. Soji Rushi brand lasts so long it's unreal. Let me like keep that on retainer because I might have to. Soji Rushi. Oh damn, these guys make bread machines too. Neat. Oh, very professional looking. I like it. Yeah, Soji Rushi sponsor me challenge. I will I will chauffeur your rice cooker in exchange for having one. I do hope that eventually becomes a thing where like people who are like, you know, rice adjacent in some way eventually try to like get a brand deal with me. I feel like that would be very funny. Rice, you should eat it. Something like that. I would be an excellent brand ambassador. You know, I swear I talk about stuff that nobody thinks of, that nobody's ever heard of. I lose people with my weird thought process. I'm like the perfect communicator, really. I'm the whole package. Okay. Why does this one keep, like, this part here keeps getting, like, huge, and I don't know why that is. Let me adjust line width here. Oh wait, I have a button for this. Redraw line width. Here we go. My new partner just got a new rice cooker for their birthday, and I'm so hyped to try it. Yeah, it's always fun when you get new appliances. I definitely went ham with my air fryer when I got it at first time, but I think that's just the air fryer experience. I'm not sure that that's like necessarily universal, but I think like I do think so. You know, when you get something new, you're like, ah, yeah, this is good stuff. I think the main one that I got that for was actually the fan that I use in the summertime. It doesn't get too hot near where I live, so I can get off with just a fan during the summertime. I don't like get, you know, it doesn't turn exactly into a sauna, so with just the fan, it's usually fine. And I bought my fan when I moved out of my student housing, and funny story about it, I actually carried the fan all the way back to my apartment. So like, the place where I got it from is this hardware store, which I actually visited today. Lucky, it's so hot where I'm at. Yeah, the flip side though is that I like get bummed out by colder temperatures. So this morning it was 50 Fahrenheit, and I felt like I wanted to die. It's a real death or glory kind of thing with me. Yeah, I definitely get it though. I do believe that it's easier to deal with the cold than it is. It is both more fun and easier to deal with the cold than it is to deal with the heat. I wish it was 50 here. I'm dying. Do your best. Do your best. No, but like it always like throws me way off whenever that happens. Anyway, like I said, I can get off with just a fan around here. So basically, the hardware store where I shopped at was. I'm gonna need to look up like kilometers to miles. Hang on. Yeah, look at which one do you use, miles or kilometers? I'm a big kilometer guy, but. Yeah, I am like a what do you call it? A metric system evangelist. I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, I use miles, but I have no spatial sense, so it's useless for me. That's fair enough. Well, it was basically. Well, I guess it's easy enough to say like it was a fair distance away, but like. It was far enough that, like, you probably should take the bus there, all things the same, but it's also close enough that you could walk there, this hardware store that I'm talking about. But because I didn't want to get on the bus with my brand spanking new fan, and also I didn't think, like, this was just when I moved out of university, so I didn't think my student ID would work with the buses anymore. So basically, I went out... walked to this friggin' hardware store that was like 2 miles away from my house, and then I walked back carrying this like this fairly large fan. I forgot why I told you this story, but I stand by that absurd and perhaps unnecessary feat of strength. God, okay, so the shading on this is going to need to be very careful so it doesn't reach that kind of like weird uncanny valley level. So like this straight line would not be what I go for. I'm gonna have to diffuse it. Okay. Need to do it in this layer. Where is my blend brush? Now that makes it look a little bit too much like a gradient. I need like a paintbrush. Yeah, you know, some people have like bad spatial sense, but I have like really good spatial sense, but I never fucking remember the names of locations. So they'd be like, oh yeah, it's on such and such road, and I'm like, that could easily be in this town or like in the next province, and I will still not know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, unless it's like a place that I've been to frequently, I'm not gonna know which one it is. Yeah. Well, I'll remember names, but don't ask me how to get there. Yeah. If we combine our strengths, we can make one fully functional human GPS. Yeah, something to consider. we do that fucking Dragon Ball style fusion dance thing, and we just end up as one person who knows how to get places. I have approximate knowledge of many locations. Yeah, like that's the thing with me. I don't get lost, but I also don't remember where I am. In terms of like names and places. No, that looks weird. Hang on. Yeah, maybe just like flat for this part. This could work. I feel like it needs something, but I feel like this also works pretty well. I get lost so easily, it's not even funny. If I go somewhere, I gotta go to the same way every time or I'll get lost. One wrong turn and I won't know where I am. No, I get that though, like... Hang on, I'm taking a drink of water here. I totally get that though, because... recently in my town, there's been a lot of construction work that's been going around. Street construction work. And because of that, a bunch of the buses that I take, including the one that I usually take to work, are on detour. And the first time it happened, I'm like, what? Wait, where are we going? It's the first time like I've been on a bus that's been taking a detour. Like a lot of the times, I just get on a bus and it just goes to where I need it to be. I didn't understand like what a detour involved, so I was like, why are we going in the opposite direction? And then I'm like, oh, we're just like passing by this other place because like there's construction. I understand this. I can conceptualize this now. My grasp of the English language's nuances are not consistently keen. Anyway, we took a detour, and God, there is no kind of fear that is as humbling as when your bus takes like a slightly different route, because you feel very like confident in your abilities to navigate, and then suddenly your bus will take a single turn that you're not familiar with, and you're like, oh my god, I need to leave right fucking now. Oh my god, did I get on the right bus? What happened? That's mainly me, though. That's because I'm used to public transportation having, like, very clearly defined paths. Like, I used to live in a city with a metro system, and I will keep singing that place's public transportation system to my grave, because the metro system was timely, it was everywhere. It had vending machines everywhere, which was nice if you needed to get a drink. And most importantly, it showed you where you were in the route on like a map inside of the car. So like So like if you were like in a subway car, right? You have like seats here, and you were here. You'd be able to see a map of the route like right here, and it would be like animated, so it would show you like where you were. And no public transportation system in my life experience has topped that. Do you understand? Like it's to the point where I'm seriously considering like I'm thinking about the ways that I could actually like pitch this to town hall. Like, okay, listen, we'll need to dig tunnels underneath the earth, but this will be so worth it. The payoff will be huge. Yeah, I'm going to become like entrenched in town politics, not because like I have like a particular agenda or anything, but because I just want there to be better public transportation in this town. Yeah, that'll be my entire like, given that I am an immigrant, I don't think I can run for public office around here. I support you. Nice. Yeah. I'm going to be the first locally elected official to have a VTuber career. Now there's a history you can hang your hat on. Fuck significant works and progress towards the social good. I want to be the guy that had a VTuber form while running for office. Wasn't there like a meme where somebody went like, I would be a great politician. I have great hair and I love lying. Except for the hair part. Same. Nah, I don't think that looks good. I don't think shading the teeth will help at all. Okay, am I using the right pen? Yes, I am. Okay, and then kind of like this, and then hit him with a little bit of this. The trick to making a kind of grain texture like this is to literally go ham with the shade, with like the shading color, and then make sure that everywhere that should have light hit gets a little bit of that light. That is my tip for drawing like rice grains and such. It's really funny to me that all things considered, I've probably drawn more rice than most people that I know. Because if you think about it, most people focus on drawing like characters or, yeah, at least on the internet, right? I feel like most people focus on like drawing illustrations of people. Very few people draw food, and fewer people who draw food actually draw rice. It's usually covered by the whatever thing is topping the rice. So it's weird to think that I have like this much experience with it now. The same thing happened with like laser beams. Like I got like I originally had a bid where I had a laser beam. So, I don't know whatever happened to that bit. I think I just got bored with it. I don't like the idea that I can like. Part of this form's charm is that it's quite literally harmless. Like I don't think I can hurt people in this form. So that's part of the charm. That's part of the lore. That's part of the branding. So having a beam attack was right out. But yeah, I did have a beam attack for a little while. I kind of miss it sometimes, It was nice just being able to open my mouth and deploy a barrage of the unfiltered, unbridled energy of the sun onto a unwitting target. But you know, branding takes precedence. You know how it is with these politics. Yeah, it was very bad for optics when I beam attacked my rival in the polls. Rice beam, yeah. Yeah, it was very bad for optics when I beam attacked my rival in the polls, so they told me that I couldn't use it anymore on the campaign trail. A bit of a bummer, but you do what you can. Man, they ought to be... I feel like they need to build a statue of me someday. They will. I mean, that's gonna happen eventually, but I feel like eventually I'm gonna get a statue. For better and or for worse. Okay, I feel like I almost need something extra on top of this, so like... Maybe like a gradient would be good. Somewhere around here. Which one of these filters would be good? I think this one's good. I feel like this one has like a nice kind of thing to it. Maybe if I... No, hang on. I would need to combine these two. Right. And then I would have to select the part in here. I'm trying to think about how I can make the rice look a little bit less harsh. Because like I said, it doesn't look like my brain anymore, but it doesn't still look quite right to me. So I want to do a little something with it. How are we for time? We got time. We got time. Okay. Yeah, today was supposed to be like a very relaxed day, so I don't mind if we go a little overtime. We have a little bit of extra. We have a little extra on our hands because I started earlier than usual. Okay. Take this, copy and paste this. Command U, luminosity way down, and then... Okay, it was like blur, Gaussian blur. Clip, and then... I'll apply it in some way, I think. There's gotta be one around here somewhere. That'll let me do what I crave. Boosting saturation and lowering luminosity might also help. Yeah, there we go. What is this part right here? It's like an angry eye looking at me. Put that thing away. Quit looking at me with your big ol' eye. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to blend out this part right here, and I think like that will cover pretty much everything. I think this guy's ready to go. Alright. Okay, one down. What was it, like 6 more to go? Thankfully the sun shouldn't take too long. I think I really pinned like the sun's like bastard energy in this one. I've also simplified the sun's design a little bit, so I'll need to figure out how to do that. Apply to the emote, I mean, the new design. So, first of all, we're going to need a circle. First you draw a circle. Then you add 2 big ol' eyes, and hey presto, that's Kirby. God. I missed the recent Nintendo Direct, but I do know that Kirby is getting a Return to Dreamland remake, which is interesting. I was a huge fan of Kirby as a kid. Yeah, I kind of stopped once I realized there were like only so many Kirby DS games. But yeah, I played the hell out of Squeak Squad. I actually beat Squeak Squad in one sitting on a particularly long plane ride. Like I just basically started up Squeak Squad and I was like, oh hey, I have the cartridge for Squeak Squad with my DS still. Let me try and play that, and then I just beat it in one sitting. God, some parts of it were really frustrating, but I got through it. Given that it's a game made for children, I don't think it's particularly admirable that I got through it, but I still feel proud of that accomplishment. Yeah. I used to think I was bad at video games, so then I realized that I was just like a child. I think I still have it. Nice. Yeah, I liked Squeak Squad a lot. I like the pixel graphics of it. I like the character design of it. The final boss is a pain in the ass, but I like that guy too. I never really got the hang of Kirby Mass Attack though. That's one that I didn't get the hang of. Kirby Mass Attack. Let's see, maybe like this. Trying to figure out how to like make this wiggly line here. Well, it doesn't need to be perfect though. Just needs to be like, I think maybe something I can. Okay, so this one marks infinitely better than the other one, so I'm gonna keep this one. There we go. Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, I was like, it felt weird to play it, yeah. I've always wanted to play Kirby 64, though. I remember I basically learned to legally acquire games through the internet, just so I could play that game, and I still didn't manage to get the hang of it at all. Though, to be fair, I understand that that's one of the harder ones. Connect vector line. It's tricky. Yeah, so I've heard. Although I did watch a stream of Temmie playing Temmie playing Kirby 64 the other day, and it was really funny. Yeah, she's a laugh and a half. Okay, let's see. How do I? Maybe if I made a ruler, this would help. Okay, so copy and paste this thing. I never beat it. Interesting. I wonder if there's like a, you know, assuming that they've played a Kirby game, I wonder if there's like a way to to like clock somebody's personality. Like there's almost like a Kirby Game Favorites personality test. Okay, curve ruler. Here we go. I think it's more like a generational thing, though. You know, I think like, you know, certain Kirby games first release at certain points in time. So I think it's more about like a don't give BuzzFeed any ideas. No, damn it. Now they're secret agents who are always listening to me because I just say insane bullshit all the time. Will know that that's what I've been thinking about. I'm ruined. Yeah, BuzzFeed has me on like a surveillance list because I just keep saying weird things for free, and they try to monetize it. It's not a deal that's worked out well for in my direction, in my favor. Yeah, I think in my favor would be the phrase. But you know, everybody has to contribute to society some way. Yeah. So, fun fact. Remember, like, when people on, I think it was on Tumblr in particular, they were joking about, like, how they had an FBI agent always monitoring them because, like, they were trying to, like, make fun of the surveillance state and everything. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this. The FBI isn't watching you, but the people at BuzzFeed 100% are. Yeah, they're the ones who actually tapped all the phones and everything. Yeah, a content farm doesn't run itself, you know, so it's kind of what they had to do after a while. You joke, but they do steal Tumblr posts all the time. That is true. That is true. Alright, adjust line width, scale down width. Process whole line? Yeah, I can process this one entirely. Yeah, just a little bit thinner. I remember there was somebody who basically replaced the original text post that was embedded in the BuzzFeed site with BuzzFeed give me royalties. Which was really funny. I think it had like a picture of Waluigi on it for some reason. You don't get stuff like this on other websites. Granted, you also wouldn't get your brain scorched in that one specific way either, but you know, it's all about trade-offs. What are you willing to put up with today? Oh, wait, hang on. I think I know how I did this part here. Okay, I'll do that in just a bit then. Okay then, so the triangles. Yeah, like I said, the thing is, like, I've stylized the sun to, like, you can actually see it on my stream starting screen back here, that I actually made, like, the sun have, like, much longer spikes, rather than rather than, like, these three little spikes. I don't know when that happened, but it did. So I guess it'll be a slightly inconsistent, so I can just kind of fit everything on here. I could make it smaller. I think that's definitely an option, that I could make it smaller. Then over here... Yeah. Yeah, I just want to, like, kind of preserve this idea of it just kind of, like, being kind of, like, slightly cut off in the corner here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why, you know, when you're thinking about compromises, you're not only kind of thinking of what will work most practically, but also what your gut reaction to that compromise is. So for me, that kind of inconsistency was right out of the table, right off the table. I don't know how you'd say that, but you know, this idea of like resizing it, well, that one didn't upset me as much. Okay, shape ruler, figure ruler. Here we go. Oh shoot, I forgot that there was that other ruler there as well. But actually, like, okay, I can work this with the... Okay, neat. I can work this with the object tool a little bit. That helps a lot, actually. Alright, I need to do this carefully, alright? Perfect concentration, 100% focus, ultra instinct rice bag. I still don't understand what the fuck Ultra Instinct is supposed to do. I've heard the theme, I've seen the memes, I understand that it gives Goku white hair instead of that weird, like, yellowish hair that Super Saiyan form gives him, but I'm still not sure, like, what it represents, you know? I think it just means that he just, like, pays attention really, really hard. I don't know, though. Like, I haven't been keeping up with Dragon Ball. It's weird. Yeah, that tracks. The thing is, right, with Dragon Ball, the problem is that a lot of the power-ups involved in that series actually have very good, like, reasons for existing. But the kind of what do you call? Almost like, it's weird. It's the opposite, actually. He just doesn't think at all. Well, that's just normal Goku, though. Like, that's just my boy Goku. It's like his body just takes over or something. Oh, I see. Like, I don't think that guy thinks. I don't know if Goku if thinking is something that Goku does. Vegeta certainly doesn't think. Fuck me. Like, the Prince of all Saiyans doesn't think, so I don't know that, like, Goku would think. I don't know that Goku thinks. I don't know that Goku's capable of thought. Goku thinks sometimes, mostly about fights and food. That's true. Is that better, though? Okay. Enough ragging about Dragon Ball. You know, this is not an anime ragging stream. This is about drawing the sun looking smug as fuck. Not by much. Well, it's something, right? It's better than nothing. You know, thinking about useless stuff is better than not thinking at all. Trying to, like, wiggle this noodle into the shape that I want it to be at. I think maybe something that I could do instead of like worrying about that too much is maybe just start putting the rest of the spikes up and then figuring out, like, where the noodles would intersect with those. The noodles, the, like, wavy sunbeams. Yeah. Yeah, I based this sun on the kind of, like, versions of the sun you can see in, like, some Latin American flags. Noodles. You know, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this. The sun told me to keep it hush-hush. But they do, but, like, the surface of the sun is just, like, ramen noodle. Yeah, the sun's worried that, like, that NASA's gonna send a rocket up there to kind of extract the noodle and use it to end world hunger. It is unfortunately very good noodle, so, like, you know, they would be willing to go that far. You know, you'd think, like, they wouldn't, but you haven't tasted the sun noodles, alright? You haven't tasted the noodles from the sun. If you tasted them, you would understand the lengths that a man would go to get some more. It's like a combination Ambrosia and Pandora's box, you see. It's like, you know, once you eat the noodles, those noodles, the sun noodles, I bet they're spicy. Oh my god, yeah. No, they are very spicy. But, like, the nice kind of spicy where they have, like, this magical effect of being, like, this, like, exactly spicy enough where, like, you start to get a little hot under the collar and, you know, you can feel it, but it's not, like, murdering you. Like I said, they are really good damn noodles. Like, they are really good noodles. Is it just me, or is this curve kind of weird? Well, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's thick. It is thick. Indeed. I think it looks good, though. I think I like how it looks with this part, like this. Let me give it a shot. Okay, so we'd have to like cut it off here and cut it off here. And just erase this part right here. Okay, I'm starting to think that I messed something up with the like circle ruler. Yeah, the figure rulers can be a little bit tricky because you don't know how, like, what part, how many times you've accidentally done it just by waving your mouse around a little too hard. They can get a little bit tricky like that. At least with vector lines. With, like, normal lines, you wouldn't have this problem. But I do work mainly with vector lines, so it is a problem for me. Come on, bud. You don't have to stop partying, but you can't party here. Yeah, see, like that erased like an entire chunk out of it. I don't know how these, the kind of logic that they operate on sometimes, but I can deal with it. It's not like a deal breaker for me by any means. Okay, maybe around there. Maybe almost like this so you can see a little bit more of it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Cut this here, cut this here. Very good. I'm kind of thirsty. Let me drink some water. Sometimes I'll take a peek over to the stream to see what the closed caption says and things that I just said. Particularly when it comes to like me saying like, let me get a drink of water, because it almost never gets it right. And this one just was talking about like a Luther or something. It's a very good Luther. Yeah, hardly 1,000 miles on it. Okay. Where's the ruler settings? Here we go. Okay, I think that works. I should drink water. Yes, you should drink some. Got it. I don't... Or matcha. I just got some yesterday. I understand matcha has some caffeine. I really like the taste of matcha. Although I am 100% on team coffee. I do like my teas. I'm not sure if matcha qualifies as a tea though, because like I watched this like YouTube video a long time ago. I could use the caffeine. Oh, I've been there. Yeah, okay. What the? You're holding a lot of tension back here. Hang on. Simplify vector line. Ooh, don't want that. Okay. Okay. Well, when in doubt, you can just cover up your mistakes with more ink. Yeah. Anyway, I watched this YouTube video a long time ago about these two white guys who went to a... Yeah, it's from this YouTube channel called The Modern Rogue. And while the two main hosts who lead the channel are definitely kind of like half Redditors, I imagine, as their like main demographic, they do research some interesting stuff. And in this one in particular, they went to a Chinese tea house to kind of see more about what the kind of ceremony was like. And it turns out that to qualify as tea, it actually needs to be from one very specific plant. Like, there is a plant that is just a tea plant. You know how, like, some kids will think that, like, pies are like a specific kind of food or fruit? And so, you know, they'll just ask for a pie, but not specify what's in the pie. That's like how it is for tea. Like, you can't just like straight up get tea. You just need tea leaves from the tea plant. I don't know if that's been like an experience for anybody else. I remember that I remember the way I found out that like that's not how pie works was actually through that one old web YouTube video called like ASDFGH movie, because like they were like, I made your pie, oh boy, what flavor? Pie flavor. And then it just like bursts out a smaller pie from the pie they baked. I don't know if anybody else remembers that. Those were huge for in like my middle school. Yeah. And I was like, haha, that's funny, but like that's just normal though, isn't it? And my friends looked at me like I just like spoken a prophecy, and I was like, is that not how it works? And they were like, no. They had to explain to me the concept of pie. Like, if you feel like you've ever been patronized before, at least you haven't had to have the concept of pie explained to you. I like that my closed captions are taking pity on me and expressing the pie that I'm talking about as mathematical pie, instead of like pie as in the food. I appreciate that. I appreciate the attempt for the save, but no, I need to fess up to this one for my own good. I don't like giving people reasons to think I'm stupid, but that one was on me. Like, that was just a silly little language goof. I don't feel bad about that. What I do feel bad about is just how fucked up this... Hang on, I think I found it. There we go. It was annoying me how, like, complex that got. There we go. Yeah, I just need to make sure that one of the reasons that I got worried about, like, I tried to reduce the emphasis on line art for these emotes was actually because I was worried about, like, having the line art be smooth. Like, I understand conceptually that that's not going to really matter much once we actually get to, like, the proper levels, like the proper kind of sizing of it, but it does bug me. Okay, that part's gotta go. Here we go. Oh yeah. I always wondered that. I remember that a while back ago they brought back the Animaniacs. Like, they did a new season of it. Like, they revived the IP. I do wonder, like, if they ever tried to do a second one of those songs for, like, the little funny cartoon man. I think his name is like Yakko. Names all the countries of the world. I wonder if they did an updated version of that. I really hope so. Yeah, how did the original go? Like, United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, hey, Jamaica, Peru. Like, I just remember the first line and then I can't do the rest. Although I know some people did memorize it as kids, which is unfortunate because a lot of the geographical information from that song is now outdated. Like, by several civil wars. Yeah, that's what that always bummed me out about like edutainment from the age, was that eventually that information does get like what do you call, does get outdated. So for example, Bill Nye, I know, is actually outdated now. I know a lot of like the scientific concepts they explored in that show are no longer applicable, and that sucks, because it was a very good show. It was a lot of fun to watch Bill Nye. You know, your teacher would roll in the CRT into the classroom. You know, they'd get like a television in there or something. They'd like hook up the projector. They'd put on an episode of Bill Nye, and it was great. But you know, now they can't do that. Now there's no like. I imagine funding for it is very weak. Is the thing. Like I know a lot of those programs were produced because like there was like funding in edutainment. There was money to be made in edutainment. And now because like everybody's watching like TikToks and like streaming and everything, that kind of edutainment has almost gone out of fashion. That's something that I'm very consistently worried about, like with the trend of friggin' like Netflix and streaming platforms and everything, is that like what's gonna happen to like children's programming? You know, we're still gonna get like new animations, but like is there gonna be like a new Sesame Street or like a new Bill Nye or something like that like children can use to learn about the world? Because that is critically important, both personally and ideologically to me. Like if some kid doesn't have the opportunity to like just go on the Discovery Channel and learn some fucked up shit about lizards for like an entire hour, then a cornerstone of my childhood experience will just be what the fuck? Anyway, a cornerstone of my childhood experience will just be, like, gone. It is worrying to think about. Oh yeah. On a completely unrelated note, I did read that apparently there was some kind of spill in the US. There was like a highway incident in Highway I-55 where apparently a tanker truck full of Alfredo sauce got into a crash, and like you would see the picture of the incident, and there was just Alfredo sauce all the way down the highway. It was incredible. God. I feel like those are almost like the best kind of like incidents. Like, you know, you had like the molasses disaster in Boston so like a long time ago. You had all that kind of thing. And, you know, you just don't get shit like that nowadays. Granted, that's a good thing. You know, I'm not saying that we need to bring it back. I'm just saying we don't do food-related incidents like we used to. Yeah, food safety in the I'm back. I got matcha. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, food safety in the US was quite the thing. To give you an idea of how bad food safety was in the US for a long, long time, basically, like in the US, you were expected to rock a 24/7 tummy ache so much that it actually got turned into the term Americanitis. That was a real phrase, and it was used to describe like the tummy ache that you got from staying in America, because like everybody just ate salted pork for every single meal. Yeah. Yeah, that's why freak health perverts like John Kellogg, who did in fact make Kellogg cereals, managed to push so many ideas through, because like on the one hand they said some completely deranged shit, but on the other hand they were the only ones advocating for food safety and handling when food was handled. So you have like these completely batshit insane ideas with this like one detail that does work. So everybody starts listening to them. It's insane. Okay, here we go. Yeah, show ruler, here we go. Oh yeah. Apparently a lot of people are starting to opt out of getting business cards. That's something that I noticed. Like, apparently, I remember when I was in the university still, I was talking to a buddy of mine who got a co-op. If you don't know what a co-op is, it's like it's a structure of studying in university where for one semester, you do studying at the university one semester and you do work at a company for the other semester, and it's a good way to get like experience in networking, all that kind of thing. I have a buddy of mine doing a co-op, and he actually said that when he was in the co-op, everybody expected him to have business cards, so he actually had to go to like the university printer and ask them to make him business cards. And when I started working in a white collar job, I actually thought they would also ask me to start getting my own business card. But the thing is, they never asked me, and I think that's because like they're just kind of getting phased out altogether, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like if you think about it, fewer germs, fewer paper wastage, all that kind of thing. Those are some very good benefits. Although it does mean we'll never get another. It does mean that if we get an American Psycho remake in sometime in the 2020s. God forbid, though. If we do get a remake of that, we won't be able to get a business card scene. They'll be like comparing NFTs or some shit. I hope I just didn't speak something awful into existence right there. Anyway. Yeah, apparently business cards are just not that popular anymore. Although I have been thinking about like getting some like art business cards. I have been thinking about like, if I go to a con or something, I might like hand out business cards for my art stuff or for my Twitch streaming. It's a good way to network as any. Yeah, I know that's what some people did back before COVID hit, that they would just like give out their business cards at cons. Or, they would have a bunch of business cards at their booth. Alright, I think I'm just gonna redraw this whole thing. Throw the whole mess out. There we go. And then hide ruler. Increase the width. Increase the decrease. And then over here. Perfect. Okay, I need to be very careful with this part because I've been burned before trying to like redo these corner bits. I understand now that that's kind of like where everything started going wrong. Okay, good enough. I might also decrease the width a little bit on the sun itself. I need to change the position of this as well. And I'm going to decrease the line width a little bit of the sun itself. There we go. How long have we been at this already? An hour and a half. And we've only gotten 2 done. I think I might have overestimated my abilities. Surprisingly enough, it's almost harder to do it with the... with the... thicker line art. Yeah, because, not only am I not used to working with, like, I'm used to doing thick line art, but I also, but it was also, like, just one like it was just one line. It wasn't kind of like filling in stuff like this. So it feels a little off, you know? I actually want to flip this mouth around so that I can, like, I want the kitten to retain the shape, but like in the other direction. I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, there we go. Perfect. There we go. I almost want to rotate it just a little bit more, though. The mouth. Yeah, that looks like a smug bastard, alright. Okay. Well, oh, right, we should probably work on coloring that, huh? Okay, I remember we started off with, like, I think we started off with the orange and then did the kind of, like, reddish parts around it. In a okay, yeah, I think that's how it went. Alright, so orange, 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 orange. If you say the word orange enough times, it stops having, like, meaning. Create selection. There we go. And then we wanted to use one of these brushes here. I think it was a pointillism brush. Yeah. To actually do this thing. So maybe increase the size of that a little bit. And we bring it back a little bit with this. And increase the luminosity and everything a little bit, bring it more towards yellow. There we go. And that's how you make a sun. Okay. The line down here is bothering me a little bit. This line right here. I want to make it just a little bit thinner. There we go. Okay, that feels a lot better. Wait, no, hang on. Oh, carefully, carefully. Okay, cool. And maybe just thin out this part. No, hang on. No, it's got little gaps here and there, too. Come on now. Okay, let's take a look under the hood for this clusterfuck. Okay, this part here. Okay, there we go. Okay, maybe like this. No. Okay, a little bit here too. I kind of want to redo this at some point, but wait, no, actually I could kind of redo it very quickly. Hang on. I've got an idea. Alright, so copy and paste this. Erase, like... Well, no, don't erase anything, but like... Okay, so maybe lower the opacity on this. So we can just kind of erase the spikes and everything here. So we can get a look at their general shape and then just do them, you know, on the first take, so to speak. Wrong layer. You can just see from the mess of white dots in there that I really messed around with those lines a lot. Having just a clean set will be very useful. We can increase the brush size a little bit too to cope with that. Actually, you might want to decrease it a little bit. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, right here. Oh, wait, no, I need to make sure to kind of like retain the original shape as well. I can't just go crazy like that. That kind of sucks, but I'll take it. You know, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I have to make sure that it stays within the line to an extent. Okay, then just shift this around like so. Okay, we're getting there, little by little. Taking a minute, but we're getting there. God, I'm trying to redo these in thick line art. Actually, yeah, because I managed to somehow knock 5 of these out in one stream, so I'm wondering if like maybe it's because I'm doing it with a particularly thick line art that it's also taking more, because, you know, even though in theory making stuff with thick line art is easier than making it with thin line art, you know, everybody says that like, oh, it takes more skill to, you know, if you want to improve your skill, decrease the thickness of your lines. That's something that I keep hearing consistently. Like, you know, if you want to bump up your skills or try a new challenge, try to do as thin line art as possible, or as you can manage. And that's always made sense to me because, you know, when you don't have the thick line art kind of covering up some of the details, you have to think more about like the shape of it, the way that it kind of behaves in a 3D space. But drawing it with like this kind of thickness is also its own kind of challenge because of the level of abstraction that you need, I feel. The level of abstraction kind of increases, so you have to think harder about the kind of amount, not only the information that you're communicating through the drawing, but also the space you actually have to communicate that information. In any case, stepping out of your comfort zone is always a bit of a task, but it's interesting. You know, It keeps you happier. Or rather, it just kind of helps you appreciate your own skills a little more. Because, you know, worst case scenario, you just decide that it isn't for you or you don't want to do it again. But best case scenario, you kind of find ways to apply it across different levels, and that's always nice. Okay, there we go. You know, it's not like you always have the luxury to take risks, but it's good to be able to experiment once in a while if you're in like a stable position. That's what I found, at least. Because, like, to what extent is, you know, if you're comfortable, to what extent does that become complacency? I think usually the time when comfort becomes complacency is when you're no longer happy with the situation. You know, if you're happy with how things are, then that's like contentness. But like, it'd become complacency if you aren't happy. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we... Come on. Help me out here. Help me help you. Oh yeah, speaking of stuff that you know, kind of going back to that pie thing, another thing that I never managed to understand in the English language was the phrase trapper keeper. Apparently it's a type of binder that children in the US use. You know, like, it's almost like a ledger. It keeps papers inside. You know, I never understood people who use, like, loose leaf paper notebooks. Like, they have a binder and they fill it with paper and they just take notes on that. That always felt super uncomfortable to me. You know, for me it was like notebooks or laptop or nothing. Or even like a loose leaf of paper, but even then I'd usually like staple it into my notebook once the class is over. Yeah, but apparently that's what like a trapper keeper was. It's called that apparently because it keeps paper... You trap papers in it. You know, it's a place where you keep your papers, but you also keep them because you have those ring binders, right? I think that's the explanation that the site gave me for why they were called that. Yeah. It's a sad day when you realize that, like, back to school stationery doesn't like excite you as much as it once did, because, like, I remember that even after being out of university, like, for a little while I was always hyped about, like, back to school stationery, but, like, nowadays it's just like, it doesn't make me feel as much. And it's sad. Trapper Keeper was a brand of folders binders. Oh. Yeah. That tracks with what I read. They got some aesthetic stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like the Lisa Frank stuff and everything. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's a sun redone. And now we want to do the rice piece with the heart. This one's really cute. I like how this one came out. Yeah, I just googled them and they have like vaporwave aesthetic binders. Now, holy shit, really? Hang on. I gotta get my eyeballs on this. Hang on, Trapper Keeper. Alright, these go hard as hell. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. We got, like... Ooh, very nice. I like these. These I like. They're at Target. Yeah, it makes me wish that I had a reason to buy one so I could get one, because I know for a fact that I wouldn't actually have anything to put in them. Yeah, they go hard. Alright. I tell you, it's a damn crime that a heart isn't one of the predefined ruler shapes in here. Maybe if I, like, increase it to 5? I mean, what is a heart if not a particularly funky pentagon? Wait, no, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Is a heart technically a square? Hang on. I feel like that's a dangerous line of thinking. Alright, so we put this here. We put this... where exactly? Okay, we need to change that... Hang on, I need to, like... Control point, control point, control point... switch corner. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna want this one to be a corner. We want these two to not be corners. We want this one to not be a corner. So we got 2 on this on the left side and 2 on the right side, so we need 1 extra right here. Okay. Now this is gonna be dangerous. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Okay, so we want this to go like right around here. I need to save this ruler once I'm finished. Alright. Oh wait, actually, hang on. No, hang on. I was gonna say, maybe I don't need this many control points, but it's good. It gives me, well, additional control. Okay, there we go, there we go. There. Perfect. A fine job if I do say so myself. Now, I gotta register what's on this layer as a material, like, right now. How do I do that again? Hang on. Ruler from vector, link guide to ruler. Well, I'll figure it out or I won't. In any case, I know where it is, so I can just go back and grab it if I need it at any point. Okay, so here's 1. Okay, yeah, no, I need to turn these from corners into curves. I might also need to remove a couple of the curves here. So, control point, delete control point. Okay. Move control point. Okay, now what fresh hell is this? Oh, wait, I see what I need to do. Okay, hang on. Okay, and then just kind of making sure that it all kind of fits together here. It bugs me that this isn't like it's smack dab in the middle. I think that makes sense though, since like the rice piece has to have its tail out there. So that might be why. Okay, there we go. Let's use the Milli pen for this. Slightly bigger. Too big. That might be too big. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. I think that's a good size. about 43 in the line width. Okay, hide ruler. Actually, you know what might actually be better for this is if the heart was on top and the rice beast was on the bottom. Yeah, I feel like this would be easier to read. I feel like that would have way too much overlap with the like hype one though, which is the problem. Well, it can't be helped, I suppose. If I think too hard about it, I'll never make any progress. Plus, I can always rework it in the future. It's not like this has to be the final version of each of these. It'd be nice, but maybe also a little bit sad. There we go. Connect these two vector lines here. And Bob's your uncle. I think. No, hang on. There's still something weird going on there. Simplify it quite a bit. Taper, delete short lines, smooth corner, process whole line. Maybe like slightly less then? Yeah, there we go. Okay, connect these two. Simplify them again, because it just like made 3 out of the same part here. There we go. And maybe just like adjust the line width a little bit so that we can get a consistent amount. Okay, pink heart and the rice beast. Okay, now this looks weird though. Hang on. This part right here. Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, and then what I could do is go back and take the color from my hoodie logo here to have a slightly better consistency. Then kind of like this. Hearts are one of those shapes that like seems simple, but getting it right can actually be kind of hard. In my experience. Maybe it's just a skill issue and I just need to draw more hearts. Okay, and then slightly darker color for rice beast. You know, to kind of like have that same kind of shading feel to him. I almost want to like make an additional kind of like thing here. Yeah, this. It needs this. I don't know what you'd call these little, like, reaction lines, but it needs these. Alright, I'm happy with that. That one was pretty smooth, actually. I take a little stretch here. Ooh. Okay, so we've got those done. So now what I want is to add an additional one, which would be... Yeah, remember how I showed an image by accident earlier, and I said it was a surprise tool that was going to help us soon? Yeah, well, the time has come. People keep drawing me in this pose. Like, at least 2 different people have drawn me in this pose, and I feel like it's only right that I try to replicate it in a way. Okay, there we go. The anatomy on this pose is completely fucked. I will say that. I honestly really hate this whole thing, but I feel like it would be a good emote. Such is life. Okay. So, logistically speaking, where do we start with this? Okay, so I think, like... we might almost need to sketch this out, I think. Alright, so here's how we do this. Alright. Here is my proposal. We actually shrink this back down to around this size. And actually kind of like make a mock-up of the pose from like a slightly different angle, like right around here. Okay. I stopped in at the perfect time. Hi, Toast. You sure did, huh, bud? Welcome. Yeah, how's your night been going? Here we go. Just woke up. How are you? I'm doing good. You know, we've been redrawing these emotes. I've been having a lot of fun trying to figure out like a thick line art. Okay. It's a very interesting like difference from like my normal kind of thing, because like even though I draw with thick lines, it's a slightly different experience. Okay, there we go, like that. Maybe like I should have my foot twisted in the other way. No, that's too much. I feel like I almost like need to cut off my arm like right around here for it to make sense, and then like have my hood back here, and then like the rice sack like be all the way over here, kind of like spilling outward like this. I feel like that would be good. I feel like that would be appropriate. Where would the rice bag be? I feel like it would almost be like over here. Wait, what if I put the rice bag like somewhere like, you know, to get that nice kind of a golden ratio going? What if I put it like right around here? I feel like that kind of breaks the purpose of the pose, but it would be interesting as an experiment to see how it goes. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, after all. Although I do kind of want to increase the, like, yeah, transform it just a little bit so that it's a little bit more even with the distribution of everything. Of the perspective, that's what I meant to say. Man, I've been playing a lot of Guilty Gear Strive recently, and my buddy of mine, Harvey, he always like, you know, I've been playing a lot of Faust. Yeah, God, this pose is super weird. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Faust. He's my favorite. He's my main character to play with, and I've been using this like green color palette this green color palette for him. And I've only just now noticed that that's supposed to be you know, because I have like green in my color palette, so I figured like that would be a good one to kind of like go with. Until I noticed that it's actually like it's supposed to look like Peter Griffin from The Family Guy, and I was like, oh god damn it! I am like 3 different color choices away from being a Family Guy reference, and that pisses me off. Okay, there we go. Then this one here. Should I show my mouth? I don't think I should. I feel like that would almost make it a little too disturbing. Not to mention, I can't make it look like I'm dead because I don't have eyes, so I can't like draw little crossed out X's for the eyes. Yeah, I can't do that for me. I need other ways of indicating that I have punched my ticket, as it were. With a little more work, this could easily turn into a Yamcha pose, which I feel would almost be even more appropriate. But this is kind of like the one that everybody says that I look like, that I would look like if I died. So I feel like it's more in keeping with the brand, is all. Like, the Yamcha pose would also be good, but this one is just beats it up by just a little bit. Like, at least the Yamcha pose makes sense anatomically. You know, this is just awful. I will never forgive Family Guy for a lot of things, but most of all, I will never forgive it for making it so that every single, like, adult-oriented cartoon needs to have, like, such an ugly fucking art style. I don't know if that trend started with Family Guy. I don't know if it's fair to blame it, but it can't have helped. I think it's mainly it's mainly like a production values thing. Like, even if they even if the artists on the shows were capable of like making like really nice art, you know, budget constraints means that they have to kind of like use the lowest budget art style possible, which is why stuff like South Park is animated with felt puppets, which like, you know, have very low overhead in terms of animation. But it just looks really bad. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched much South Park, mainly because like I hate it, but also because like, you know, I was never one of those like kids who like got into like, yeah, I never like got into like conventional like comedy shows, which is why I never got into South Park. which I consider a good thing, to be perfectly honest. You know, I talk about how I got my brain scorched with like Homestuck and Tumblr and everything, but I feel like I could have been worse. If that makes sense. I've talked about this before. There have been like a weirdly high amount of instances in my life where I feel like I just watched a, you know, like I just watched like a ship sail off. Like the way I put it, right, is that I had a ticket to go on a ship. You know, you have like these multi-cruise ticket lines or whatever. Like in my analogy, this would be how it goes. So like you have a ticket for like a multi-boat trip. And like at the last minute, you have to change your boat. So you see the one that you were supposed to be in kind of sail away into the horizon, and then you see it explode into a giant fireball. And you kind of like know that you could have been on it, but you weren't. It's like that feeling. You know, I understand that that's literally not a feeling that people have. You know, that is certainly not a universal life experience. It's not a life experience that I've had. But it is a life experience. Okay, here we go. Redraw vector line width. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure how well this will read on, like, the Twitch emote level, but I think the bid is good enough to justify making it. There we go. I have 5 little fingers, so I need to have like a thumb in there. I feel like at this point I've made a peace sign so much throughout my life that if you ran an electrical current through my arm, it would just pop out into that. You know, by default. Maybe I could like do that. Like, hang on. Is it weird that this kind of works? It's weird how well this works. This should not be working so well. Okay, hang on. Let me just add a couple of things here and there so that we can improve this. I mean, it works for a given value of like working. Yeah. Hang on, I need to reopen the reference sheet that I have for myself. You would think that at this point I know what I look like, but such is not the case. Yeah, particularly because I switched my jeans so much lighter color. Hang on, let me get up on my little desk here. You can actually see that I actually have dark jeans in my original design. But you hardly see those anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not really an issue. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, I accidentally picked the sandal color instead of the pants color, instead of the foot color. skin color, you know, for a given value of skin. Haters will say I don't have skin, but if that's possible, then how come my hands are so dry? Boom, cell phone. God. The problem is, right, because my head and my face have the same color, what I think I might need to do is I might actually need to, like, do some, like, shade, like, block, like, color block shading here. This is a really good pose, actually. You know what, I take back what I said, this is a really good pose. I will say, though, I should probably, like, erase the lines on the jeans here. I feel like those confuse stuff. No, hang on. I need to keep those there. I got an idea. Alright, so step one. We shift this to like a darker blue so we can like do this pant leg here. We're gonna do it very similar to that one Miku drawing that I did not too long ago, where we just kind of like block out entire shadows. Give myself a little booty there. It's my emote and I'll give myself as much cake as I want. Okay. I don't know who I'm justifying that to. I just like pretending that like there's some kind of like what do you call it, like adversarial naysayer around. I'm one of those people that needs like a justification for everything they do. Caked up. Yeah. I'm one of those people who needs like a justification for everything they do. So whenever, so I have to like, I found that my comedy works really well if I'm like justifying it to a fake audience, or at least I find that it flows more naturally. You know, you kind of have to weaponize your own kind of like current thought processes to make it as an improv comedian. Not that I am an improv comedian, but I think I'm definitely getting the same skill set as one. Okay, and then here we go. Time to pull out my old tricks. Time to do my old tricks. Time to do my old Pablo up to his old tricks. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good for an emote. I feel like that's going to translate pretty well over to the Twitch channel. Okay, did I have anything else that I wanted to do? Let's see, how much time do we have? We have like 45 more minutes. Tell you what, I gotta go get something real quick, so I will be right back, and we will do another one very soon. Alright, see you soon. Alrighty, folks, thank you for your patience. I'm back. Alright, now I wanted to find I need to find like a very specific frame from Pop Team Epic for this next one. I don't know if I'll be able to find this thing, so we might actually move on to another one in the meantime. Let's see if we can find it first, though. Here we go. Nice, we got it on the first try. Alright. I'm glad the internet exists, because I would not have been able to... You know, I can't say it enough that I think, like, even though there are bad things about the internet, there are many good things about it, and one example is that I can get this picture of, like, the Pop Team Epic girl clenching her fist furiously. You know, I'm not going to be able to do the eyes for obvious reasons, but I think that, like, the idea will still be there. Very good. I love Top Team Epic. It is very good. I don't know if it's still in production. The anime was... I really like the anime, not because of the faith of the original, not because it created a lot of the original jokes faithfully, but mainly because like it did so much with like mixed media. Like they had stuff from the AC Club and everything. It was friggin' incredible. God, I love AC Club stuff. I like that they really do EDM stuff. Season 2 coming next month? Well. I didn't know that, actually. That's really exciting. The timeline shall be aflush with new memes. Good stuff, I like it. Okay. I actually need to make this, like, even bigger than it already is. Alright, hang on. First, cut and paste this so we can manipulate it more freely. Okay, hang on. We need to do this in a very specific order of operations. Yeah. I have I have a lot of rage in my little body for a guy who can't reach the top shelf. You know, like, canonically speaking, cannot reach the top shelf without assistance. I don't know, having it, like, be on the side like that actually helps it a lot with, like, the readability of the pose. Okay, hang on. Fist. Back of fist. I need to find out like, the back of a picture of a back of a fist. What? Okay, this is... I'm not going to use this one, but this is a really funny stock image. This is just like that Arthur meme. Alright, this one might be better, though. Oh, let's make sure that it's in Creative Commons use, though, because I don't want to accidentally do anything. All Creative Commons, or public domain. Okay, we'll use this one here. Yeah, I'm glad that more and more search browsers are getting like a what do you call a freedom, like a public domain specific lookup. It's been very helpful for me, you know, finding references and all. I'm one of those people who can't relax unless they know that everything's going to go well, which is weird. Which, you know, rather impossible because there are no such guarantees in this life. But I do like I do like having like a more assurance over stuff than most people. You know, So having that kind of like available to me is good. Okay, put this here and then shift this off to the side here. Perfect. Okay. I need to make sure that the fist lines are like extra. Okay, it's bugging me that this guy isn't making a fist the correct way. Okay, but let me go back to Google image search. Alright, hang on. I just realized that this guy isn't actually like making a fist. Like they've just got their hand clenched. That's not a fist. Fist back, maybe? Come on, there's got to be something around here. I mean, really, the only difference is that, like, your thumb would probably be, like... Also, I need to flip this image over because this doesn't work when it's your right hand. Alright, hang on. Yeah, right, because, like... No, wait, it would be... That's correct. Right, that would be your right hand. I'm getting confused. I'm getting really confused here. I'm throwing myself off of my rhythm. Yeah, I really liked Pop Team Epic's first season, you know, more so than for the jokes. I mean, naturally, I also enjoyed the jokes. Hell Shake Yano, the bit of Hell Shake Yano lives rent-free in my brain. I'm on the wrong layer. Anyway, the Hell Shake Yano bit lives free in my head, but moreover than the bits, I really enjoyed, like, the mixed media that they employed. It felt really good. Like, I'm a huge fan of AC Club because, you know, I found out more about them through, like, EDM and everything. They do a lot of, like, EDM music videos. I think one of my favorites is actually for this one called, like... I actually don't remember what it's called. I know one of them is for this one called, like, New Tribe or something like that by... I don't remember the name of the band either. I have really bad memory for this, but I do know that they have, like, a music video for an EDM DJ called New Tribe, and it's... AC Club stuff is the kind of bad art that you only get when you're really good at art. Like, you know how, like, when like movie producers will try to make, like, children's drawings for, like, a horror film or something, or, like, you know, to like pluck some sentimental heartstrings, but you're like, no child draws like that. You know, it's a little bit like that, but, like, almost in the opposite direction. In that, hang on, I gotta lower the opacity. No, actually, I gotta, like, shrink it down a little. It's a little bit like that in that you can very clearly tell that it's meant to look extremely amateur, but it's the kind of, like, extremely amateur that only... It has, like, this extreme amateurness that requires an absurd amount of technical competency. Okay, here we go. The thing is, right, it's not enough to just do a little bit of cross-hatching on it. You also need to, like, figure out, like, where the cross-hatching is applied. So, for example, I can tell that, like, where the shading would be strongest is where the majority of the cross-hatching would be applied. Like, this is a really well done, like, really detailed fist. Okay, here we go. Okay, so for example, like right here, I would actually start doing like cross-hatching. It's probably not a great idea to do cross-hatching on a vector layer, but I think my computer can handle it. I used to be a huge fan of cross-hatching. I still am, because it's the easiest way to draw, to like shade stuff with like pen and paper. I used a lot of ink in my high school art class, so I still have quite a bit of fondness for the medium. It broke my heart when like the Inktober guy kind of started trying to monetize everything and became really scummy with all that, because I really enjoyed Inktober for like being able to use like a lot of my ink-based skills. Like I still can, but like the association with the event is like difficult to shake. Yeah, because you can tell here as well, like, the cross-hatching only occurs on the areas where, like, it would be, like, heavy shading and, like, where the muscles would kind of gather together, would bunch up. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it succinctly. So, like, right here, there would be a little bit of cross-hatching for each knuckle. How does that look? I think that's pretty good. The only problem being that, like, right around here, I don't think it would actually cast that much of a shadow, even if the knuckle is there. I think, like, maybe it would be more like this. No. This is not the way to do this. There we go. Yeah, one thing that is easier about cross-hatching on vector layers than it is in real life is that you can always, like, slice off whatever you don't need on the cross-hatching once you're through with it. Vector layers, my beloved. No, that's also a no-go. These, like, little shadings things that I was doing for the knuckle here. I feel like the strongest implication would be, like, if the knuckle was, like, right where it ended. So I think that's what I'm going to try to go for, in terms of, like, what I'm trying to convey with the image. There we go. Okay, now I just need to color this in, which might be easier said than done. There's something deeply disturbing to me about the Pabst Pog, the updated one. Also the unupdated one. Like, in general, it just kind of creeps me out a little bit. I don't think I ever pictured my mouth kind of taking those contortions. But at the same time, it's really, really funny, so I don't want to, like, not use it. Yes. Sometimes you gotta put the bit before you put... Sometimes you gotta consider the bit before you consider your own feelings. Okay. I should drink some water. Okay, so how do we do this? I think the best way would be selection with layer. Copy and paste that, and actually make it, like, darker. And then from there we can actually, like, start using the watercolor brush to kind of add where we would have, like, the highlighted areas, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me bring this in here. Select this. You know what would actually be better? I have some download brushes which might actually be very suitable for this. Hang on. Okay, so main areas of shading would be around here, a little bit here, definitely throughout the knuckles. This looks really gross and meaty right now, but I promise it will get better. Maybe. Okay, and then kind of like blend that out here a little bit with the watercolor brush. You know, theoretically speaking, I could have just photoshopped this and made it look like my hand. But I feel like that would have lost a little bit of the intensity of whatever the hell it is that I'm doing. Okay, lower the stabilization on this. There we go. How are we for time? Still got about a half hour left. Before I usually clock out. Man, remember when I was like doing 3-hour streams every day during October? That was some crazy shit, huh? I'm never doing that again, by the way. God, that first month of streaming was like... I don't know how I managed to accomplish it and not break down. I think I definitely did. I think like definitely the fact that I was just starting out did help a lot, because I don't have a lot of the same kind of you know, as your kind of stream setup advances, you kind of start thinking about more and more stuff. You know, although the ideal kind of situation is to achieve automation in your stream setup, so that you can just kind of focus on having a good time and providing that experience for people. It also means keeping track of a lot more kind of programs kind of running off into the side. And that can get a little bit hectic. But I feel like you know, like I said, I am actually coming up on my anniversary as a streamer. I started streaming October 1st, 2021. And we're fast approaching October 1st, 2022. I am planning on doing something special for that. Do keep an eye out for that. But like, kind of like taking that into perspective is kind of incredible. You know, I don't think I was supposed to be into like when I first started streaming, I wasn't sure I'd be able to like do it for too long. I thought for sure that I would like crap out in the mid-August or not mid-August, mid-October, but I didn't. I just kept going. And you know, I'm still going now. So, you know, I'm super glad to have been wrong, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I'm gearing up for like an entire little speech on the day of, so be ready for that. But like, to give you a short version of it, I'm very happy that I started streaming. It's been absolutely wonderful. I'm glad for everybody that I've met. Hey, with this flipped around? No. What would be... I'm glad I met you too. Yeah, dude. I'm happy we're friends. Okay, and then clip this, and then... Screen. Yeah, I think I think with screen it helps a lot too. Okay. Now to make the expression, which is going to be the funniest part. I feel like I should almost like include my sleeve on here. I can do that in a separate layer though. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to change all that, you know, to have gone through all that and then just like go through it again just to add a measly little shade of green. No, I'm unwilling to do it, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like I almost have to like... Maybe I need to like flip this around and make it my left fist? No, that's not what I need to do. Somehow all of this part here feels wrong. I feel like I almost need to like... Wait, what if I like... Okay, I've got an idea for how to approach this. So we move this, all this, off to the side here. And then up here. So we'll have it like I'm facing back. You know, I've got my back turned to the camera. Yeah, okay, I can see how this is going to come together. Hang on. Got it. The fact I like the fact that I can like hang on. I haven't trotted this party trick out in a while. I do actually have expressions, and I can actually like get like a little vein on my forehead if I get angry enough. No. It would almost have to... Okay, you know what? I think I know what went wrong. I need to like almost make it more vertical. So like... Yeah, like that. Instead of like curved like it was before. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put this all into one big folder so I don't have to keep worrying about it. And then I am going to... Actually, I still need it to be visible. Okay, kind of like this. Connect these. I like how a lot of what I say for when I'm like adjusting, what do you call, like adjusting, hang on, what's causing the interference here? Anyway, a lot of what I say when I'm adjusting the vector line sounds a lot like what an electrician would say, like, all right, cross these here, and yeah. Ironically enough, the House Flipper stream was yesterday, so maybe a little bit of that is rubbing off on me. Okay. Can you tell? I like that you can actually tell that I'm smiling while I draw this through the VTube studio and everything. Okay, there we go. And of course, the little kind of like rice pile on top of my head. There we go. Yeah, something about composition of this feels very off. I feel like I understood what I myself was trying to go for, but I just didn't manage to execute on it properly. I feel like that's what happened. Maybe if I like twist it around. No. Maybe like this. Okay, that's getting somewhere. It would still need to be like smaller though. I need to put this, yeah, maybe flip it. But the problem is I would make it on the left hand. Oh, wait, you mean flip the canvas. Right, okay. Alright, so first off, I'm noticing a problem with the mouth here. Right, okay. Maybe I need to make the fist even bigger and my head even smaller? Just spitballing ideas here. Okay, so maybe like 1/3 of the thing here. And then with the object brush, just make this very small. Okay, and then unflip it. How does that look? Not too bad, not too bad. I will have to fix up the sleeve here, though. And I will have to add my other sleeve here to make it obvious that I'm like, you know, it's my right hand. If the finger wasn't enough indication. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like the narcissism. That took way too much effort to say. If it's the narcissism kicking in, but I have a lot of fun drawing my own little Sona. I'm just a silly little guy. I'm just a little dude. I feel like I'm almost like Mario in that I can like be put into pretty much any situation, and it would just feel natural. Like if I put on like a doctor's coat or something, I will just look like a doctor. I have that quality to me. Just a little guy, just a little dude. Yeah, professional diagnosis, just a little dude. Okay. Okay, and then over here, and then we would actually use probably the copy stamp tool right on this. Gonna merge these to... No, hang on, that wouldn't help. Okay, here's how we do this. So we take a nice little triangle-shaped chunk out of this part here, copy and paste that, lower that down, and kind of keep doing that. Like so. Why isn't it letting me cut and paste this anymore? There we go. And then with the fist mark right here. And then we kind of do the same thing for this zone here, but we have to be much more careful due to the way that the... Oh wait, no, hang on. Maybe we can just like stretch this part out. There we go. It's better than nothing. I'll blend it out and maybe that'll make it look more natural. Actually, no, wait. This is actually very simple. So we have to set the screen. God, this looks so mean and red. Let me increase the luminance. No, okay, I think I need to use the tone curve, maybe. There we go. Normal. Oh, I see what happened. Alright, hang on. And right here, we can just kind of copy and paste this part here. Yeah, this is kind of why I wanted to get it on the first take, so we didn't have like this kind of issue going forward. But it can't be helped sometimes. Anyway, at least now we know the trick to it, right? Tonal conversion, or tone curve. Maybe just a little bit of shading on the knuckles here. It's very light, very almost imperceptible shading. No, it needs to be pinker, is the problem. Yeah, the problem with like using the brush on this setting that I have it on, replace alpha, is that it doesn't allow you to blend stuff as you go. So you have to do it in separate parts, and it can really be frustrating. But very useful nevertheless. Okay. Yeah, probably like... What shade did I have on my hoodie and my Pappers emote? God, I hate... I really don't like looking at this. Like, the thing is, right, I think it's not that I didn't do a good job on it. I did a great job on it. But because, like, I have... my mouth is like that, it just looks like I'm just, like, distending my jaw to eat a mouse or something. I'm unhooking it like a snake. They look good together. That's true. Yeah, like I said, it's not that I did a bad job on it, it's just that it disturbs me personally. Okay, and then maybe with like an additional gradient on this part here? That would be nice. Alright, hang on. Gradient, gradient, gradient. Here we go. Okay. Put this together here, and then here we go. Then this color here for the logo. And then this color here for the rice. I feel like I almost need to like keep both shrinking it and putting it off to the side here. Or like changing the size of it a little bit. Okay, we can select this part here, and then... do a little bit of redness here. Oh, wait, I accidentally included the rice in that. Belay that order. I love that word, belay. I feel like belay needs to re-enter the casual vernacular. I look like I'm taking fire damage now. Alright, how about watery brush? That's not helping at all. Alright, round watercolor brush with replacing alpha it is. Blend that out a little. No, I think it either needs to be cell shading or like something else, but not that. Yeah, I don't know how that purple dot will read though. So I think maybe in that regard, the red dot would be much better. The red dot of wrath. Okay. A wet blotting ink? Maybe that'll help. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I don't know how this is helping. Oh, wait, this might work. Hang on. Alright. turn it this way. That looks pretty nice. I like that. Then maybe blend it out a little bit. Maybe with the Painterly blender, I feel like that would help a lot. Yeah, okay, now we're getting it. Okay, and I think like the last kind of thing that we need for this is to actually like rotate this a little bit so it's like this. Yeah, because I feel like this communicates the idea of like, I sort of got I'm going to hit you better than the other kind of pose did. Yeah, luckily the way that we've been working, it's going to be pretty like flexible, so I don't need to worry about it too much. There we go. Just blend this part through. Likewise for this, just gonna... Oh, wrong layer. Perfect. Alright, I think that's good enough for today. You know, I feel like we've done plenty. So I'm just going to get rid of all these different references, and I think we're just going to close things out here for today. No need for a raid or anything. I'll figure out a way to put these up, but certainly you'll see them on Twitter, on my social medias. Yeah, thank you all for coming by, and I hope you had a great time. I will see you all next week. Bye.